The special election for the House District 24 seat is happening today. TV 20's Alexis Goings tells us how many people election officials expect at the polls.
Marion County residents will soon have a new representative in the House District 24 seat. Election officials say low turnout numbers are likely because there is only one name on the ballot.
At this point in time, I would hope that we could get, a full 10%. So far, it's been decent. A special election, whether it be a primary or general, is not normal here in Marion County.
Wilcox says it could be because the lack of interest in the candidates. Republican Ryan Chamberlain is the only name on the ballot, although signs encouraging people to write in Robert Fox's name are posted around Marion County. They are running to replace Republican Joe Harding, who resigned after he was indicted on wire fraud and money laundering charges. That's when Fox signed up to be a write-in candidate. He later told TV 20 he was strict because he believed that he'll be helping the Republican Party. Chamberlain won the GOP primary with 36% of the vote. The primary was closed to Democrats and independents because of the write-in candidate. Some people say the race is a waste of taxpayer dollars because a write-in candidate has never won in the state of Florida.
What an election costs fiscally, in dollars, it should not be that relevant to this process because, we do everything possible so that we can conduct an election and, fiscally should not come into the play.
Wilcox says the turnout won't compare to the primaries. In Ocala, Alexis Goings, TV 20 News.